still trying to find words to describe that moment, especially crossing that finish line.
So obviously we have Cooper Lutkenhaus with us right now. 16, just had a big national high school record broken in the under 18 category up in Eugene. Let's talk about that, man, just to start off things. You're in the 800 meter. That is a man's race. It's 2 laps. Walk us through what you achieved. And just for anybody out there who might not know what was so special that you did on Sunday.
So I was able to qualify for the World Championships in Tokyo this year, which happens every 2 years. And I was able to run the U18 world record, so the fastest anybody under the age of 18 in the world has ran, and then the U20 American record, so the fastest anybody under the age of 20 in America has ever ran before.
And tell us, what was your time officially?
1:42:27.
So if you think about it, 2 laps, you're running sub-minute, laps here. Obviously for the 2 that you have in the race. Man, walk us through just how difficult that is. I mean, it sounds for you like it's easy, but I'm trying to paint this for the average person that doing this is not easy at all.
I don't even know if it's easy for me. But the 800 is the hardest event to run in track and field, in my opinion. So the first lap was 50.6, and then the second lap was 51. So keeping them very close together is something that I always try to do. It's one of the harder ways to race the 800. So being able to do that was really cool.
All right, walk me through the moment where you realized the record had been shattered, because I think when you were crossing the finish line, I think you beat it by a second, correct?
Yes, sir. I didn't even know what the record was. I wasn't going for the record. I was just trying to place as high as possible in such a great field of athletes. So I knew what I had run was something special, running low 142s, but then realizing afterwards that I had broken the world record for under 18 and then getting the American record and for under 20, it was definitely special.
Obviously this is a big thing for you because the Olympics are coming up in 2028 and you'll be 18 at that time, over 18. So is that the goal here, is to go to the World Track and Field Championships in Tokyo, do your best there, but also create some noise for the American team? I think obviously you've probably done that already, but at the same time, this has to at least let people know in the USA, circles that you're a contender and you could definitely, obviously be an addition to the team.
So would definitely love to make that. That'd be a big dream. I've been dreaming of that ever since I was young, but obviously that's still 3 years away. And a lot of things can happen, but just focusing day by day is the main thing.
Moving into just, kind of what the World Track and Field Championships is, can you just walk us through, for anybody who might not know, who you'll be competing against? And obviously there's probably sponsors there. They're taking a look at all the athletes. And for a kid from Justin, Texas, that's a big deal. I mean, this is kind of like, you got to be riding high on this Monday.
So World Championships, it's the best of the best from every country. So a lot of Olympians from America, all around the world come together to see who can be the best. So lots of big names like Cole Hawker. A lot of people know him, Olympic champ. Grant Fisher, 2 bronze medals in the Olympics for Team USA. So those are just some of the kind of top athletes that'll be at the meet. And then multiple other athletes from different countries.
How does it feel to get this achievement and you literally just, passed an age where you can drive? And now, most people probably think when they're 16, it's like, all right, yeah, I'm going to get my license. I'm going to be, my sophomore year of high school, moving into my junior year, whatever. But this is quite the achievement. How are you feeling about it?
Man, it's definitely special. I don't know if there's words for it just yet, just because it happened only yesterday. So still trying to find words to describe that moment, especially crossing that finish line, but it was definitely something that I won't forget.
Moving into tonight, I think a bunch of your friends are taking you out to celebrate. What does that mean to you? Because aren't they your teammates? I think from your track and field team.
Yes, sir, they are.
So what's that going to be like to kind of hang out with them? Because these are the guys that you obviously have ran with at meets here in Texas, and obviously in North Texas too. And they're probably psyched and pumped for you. What's that going to mean to just kind of celebrate and look at this and then say, all right, next up is Tokyo?
I think it just shows the friendship built outside of the running. Um, Obviously, I see them every day when I go and run, but afterwards, we're going out to eat as teammates and friends, and just becoming really close with each other. Just not on the running side.
Back to the race. So I used to run the 800, and I'm not bragging. I was like the only one who was crazy enough to try in our track team. But that second lap is really a gut check.
Mhm.
You kind of have to tell yourself, all right, one more. And if you run a 400 meter now, if I ran one, I don't think I'd be able to run it under a minute 20. But at the same time, that second lap is really difficult. Walk
Mhm.
me through obviously the discipline you have to have whenever you're making that second round across the track.
Mhm. Just the confidence that you can make it one more lap. Obviously, it's two very fast laps right back to back. So being able to keep your poise, stay confident, and know that you have just 400 more meters to go. And the way I always look at it, every track is the same. Nothing's going to be different on any one that you run on. So just knowing that I can get to the finish line, I just got to get there as fast as possible.
And what's cool is I know that your dad was a runner, and I think your brother runs at Tulsa,
Mhm. Yes,
which is
sir.
which is awesome. It sounds like the athlete gene is in your family.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that. How proud were your parents?
I would say they were pretty proud. Just right after the race, I saw my mom kind of down by she was on the fence. I went over and gave her a hug, and then saw my two brothers and my dad up in the stands, gave them a wave. It's it's a moment that I don't think you'll ever forget, just because seeing the looks on their faces, seeing they saw the look on my face, it was a crazy day.
And so, moving into when Tokyo is, what's the date for that?
So I believe I will leave September 9th, but my first race is a week after that.
Got it. So you'll land, kind of get acquainted, and
Mhm.
then it's race time pretty much within a couple of days after that.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about, have you guys gotten any interest from sponsors or any, I mean, obviously when you make this type of wave, I imagine the phone starts ringing.
I think just right now at the moment, it's more just focused on kind of the presence. High school track obviously is something that I always look forward to. Um, just district area, all the UIL season is always my favorite. And then obviously this is kind of just the cherry on top. So I'm just excited to get out there and just see what I can do.
So 2028, we talked about that. Your mom kind of mentioned on the phone, like that's the goal is to try and at least qualify and get up there. So it sounds like this is not going to be the last we hear from you.
Yes, sir. Let's hope it's not.